So let's just let the game speak for itself. We're entering the draft for game number 2.
I'm just gonna translate for all the international viewers. Basically, what the TODAK fans were saying, like, TODAK is always in our heart, and I know why.
Why?
Every time I watch a TODAK game, I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack, right? So every single time we watch the TODAK game, we'll all be holding onto our hearts like, what was that game?
TODAK is always in your heart, but your heart will always be in your stomach.
Well, the thing about guys is we love our stomachs. So
Yep.
that's why TODAK is such a Malaysian team, you know?
Yeah, they know how to appeal to the senses. They know how to fill our bellies full of satisfaction from watching an MLBB game. They know how to appeal to our Langa instincts. And you just enjoy watching them, but the same can be said for SMG. Sometimes you just have a little bit of appreciation for a team that can pull off such clean mobile legends. And we'll find out whether or not they can deal with the chaos that is TODAK here in game number 2.
I hope I don't jinx it, but I want SMG to win. I don't want this series to end. Like,
That's quite a thing to say.
don't worry, it's not the final series of the day, so that's why it's fine, right?
That's fair.
That's fair, right?
That's
so right
fair.
now, sign up for TODAK as well as SMG. I want to see more of this. I want to see more. I want to see how SMG revels in the chaos. I almost want them to have the mindset of, if we can't beat them, join them. Let's not follow. Let's throw away the book and let's see what we can create out of nothing.
That would be interesting. If Team SMG is able to shift from their typical playstyle and just
Out
go
TODAK,
all
TODAK.
in. Yeah, out TODAK, that would be quite a sight to see. I mean, we do have to remember, their team name means that they are still moving under gunfire. They're certainly under fire right now from the forces of TODAK. Will they be able to continue moving forward and perhaps surprising us here?
Yeah, right now we look at Team SMG. They're having quite the trouble on what to ban because 1-1 is still open. Ling, Fanny, they're all still open. The fact that Rival is here is making it so difficult for them to choose. But overall, 1-1 is the safest ban to pick because no matter what Rival chooses to get, still going to be very, very dangerous, which is why I think they don't need to take it now.
Yeah, I actually think they can let both Ling or Fanny through the draft here because Box really isn't leaning towards these heroes recently. We saw him play on the Fanny previously against Suhas. Admittedly, I don't think it went very well for them. He probably plays Ling a little bit better, but TODAK, they would absolutely love to just invade the jungle all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they can prioritize something else, and that's going to be the Beatrix.
Yeah, I like this because what team will get Ling and Fanny in the same team, right?
Yep.
Honestly, TODAK would. If Yums was playing,
true.
Yum would use Fanny roam, and then Rival would use the Ling jungle. So okay, maybe TODAK would do something like that. But I like this. TODAK understanding the current situation. Team SMG, they only have one option. Whatever option they choose, Rival is comfortable either way. So taking the Beatrix away from Sasa, forcing Sasa to play a different hero. Even though, to be fair, in the previous game, Sasa had a pretty rough time going up against the Popol and Koopa. I feel like this is a good psychological play from TODAK.
It might lead to Team SMG wanting to prioritize the Popol and Koopa themselves, but Sasa really hasn't been leaning towards that kind of hero himself. Instead, they're going to start things off by opening up more options. They're going to steal the Cho away from TODAK, so forcing Chiku to play a different roamer, as well as the Julian. We don't know where this is going to go.
They're playing hot potato. It's like, you choose. You want Fanny or you want Ling? And then they're like, nah, we know that you guys can also choose one because Yu's not in the lineup. So you guys choose. Do you guys want the Ling? Do you guys want the Fanny? I think it's a smart move from SMG because if they pick either one of those, they're really playing at the hands of TODAK. So might as well just secure something else. But Julian also, we're not too sure, right? Because after the nerf, it really does seem like Julian suffers when it comes to damage.
Yeah, but I still think he's a very solid hero overall. If anything, this just makes him a little bit more balanced. TODAK, they're going to be picking up the Eve as well as the Tamas. And this Eve is, of course, Moon's signature hero. But I do feel like in this current season, it hasn't been working out too well for TODAK. Hopefully, they can prove that record wrong today.
Trigger finger, we talked about that quite a few times. Right now, both of these teams, they're really trying out each other's patience. So since now that Claude has been picked up, I'm guessing both of those assassins will be banned out. I'm talking about the Ling, I'm talking about the Fanny, but that kind of works in TODAK's favor as well because they're forcing bans onto Team SMG, and they probably expect this. So Rival has a lot of time on his hands to really figure out what is the third option. Either way, this is uncharacteristic. TODAK doing very good in the pick and bans. Is this the game that they will lose?
I really like the way that you're saying that. It's like, oh my god,
they're doing
TODAK,
good.
They have a good draft. What are we witnessing right now?
This is out of my comfort zone.
A little bit, but I do like that TODAK is veering a little bit more towards stuff that is more consistent. Hopefully it works out for them. However, with the Claude being picked up, I actually think Team SMG doesn't have to be too worried about options like the Ling and Fanny, just because Claude has so much late game scaling, has so much wave clear with the Blazing Duet, that even if they do get split push, they might be able to hold on.
I don't know, and the Claude having such a low HP, I would say the Fanny would be a good pick just to use her cutthroat and just deal with it. I mean, sure, the Claude can use the Wind of Nature, but that is quite a big cooldown that the Fanny can wait for. But overall, TODAK themselves has banned out the Fanny, so it kind of does look like a situation where Rival has decided this is not going to be a hero I'm going to use, and I'm not going to let SMG really dictate what kind of hero that I'll be forced onto. Ling has been banned. Overall, a very good pick. But this does come to the question, what is the next move coming in from the side of TODAK? Do they want to focus on the mid laner now? I mean, to be fair, you still don't know where this Julian is going.
Yeah, I actually think this could be a jungle Julian, because if I look at the rest of the team of SMG, none of them really lean towards playing this hero other than Vox and maybe Hate. We haven't seen it yet, but I could see it being a possibility. So this is a very big question mark on the side of Team SMG as well, which makes it that much more difficult for TODAK to decide what they want to ban out for the final ban of the game.
Your team is
The Grok. I guess that's okay because he can use the Wild Charge onto Eve, and to be fair, the Grok can be used in mid. We've seen quite a few players have used that. Xeno, Stormy, so I think that is overall a good ban just to be safe. But then again, Yuzong, Yuzong won't be used. Yuzong won't be used.
Oh wow, okay. I thought that with TODAK banning out Grok, they're expecting that this is not a roamer Cho, and it seems like their anticipation was correct. The Selena gonna be picked up on Team SMG, and well, we know from history, Zion Senpoi was at one point the most notorious Selena player in MPL MY. His Abyssal Arrows were legendary. I'm curious to see if they're still going to be that way.
I do not like going up against a Selena. I mean, we can
Same.
say we can say the same thing about Moon. Moon Selena is pretty scary as well, but like we discussed before, with the absence of someone like Ewan, it becomes more and more difficult for Moon to be a more proactive kind of mid laner. Now he kind of has to play it a little bit more reactionary. And it looks like they're going to end the round with the Estes and Paquito. Please use the Estes skin. Please use the Blacklist skin, please. I want to see the Blacklist skin.
I would certainly be excited to see if that is the Blacklist skin. But Chiku actually going to be taking a page out of Yunza's book here with the Estes. This is interesting and a very good counter to the Blazing Duet. I'm still wondering who is going into the jungle because Tamas and Paquito can definitely both go into jungle or EXP lane. So I guess we will find that out once we enter the game.
Even Moonton is here, like, yes, use the skin, use the Blacklist skin, come on. I already what you call it? Like, I already paid for the skin, so when it comes out, I'll get a discount. For you guys that don't know, you guys can put a little bit of diamonds to make sure you guys get a discount. But right now, Team SMG, they did hover on this. Oh, the Xavier, this is very brave. This is very brave. Are they sure this is the hero that they want?
This is such a risky team composition from Team SMG because they are so squishy. They're basically going for full out damage with the exception of Smooth, and even the Cho is only going to be able to catch out one person. Whereas TODAK, they've got Estes, they've got Tamas. They're going to be able to run down Team SMG quite comfortably. Team SMG taking risks like this, not really characteristic of them, but I am liking the idea.
Hey, we asked for it, right? And if we ask for it, we gotta get ready to receive it. Now we can see SMG perhaps embracing the chaos that TODAK is bringing into the Land of Dawn. So might as well just make a draft that is so crazy that it might just work. And for the side of TODAK, it's kinda safe. Not gonna lie, this is probably one of the safest picks that TODAK has ever picked. But they got the Estes. If they are using the Blacklist skin, they got my vote on this, Tafa.
I'm sensing a little bit of bias from you there, but I gotta agree, the Blacklist skin does look pretty sick on Estes, so I hope we get to see it here today as we now enter the Dawn. Yes, it is! And you can hear the crowd go wild! Also, LaFell returned to his primal instincts, but I can't blame him. This is probably one of the nicest skins that has come out recently.
I should have given a warning for everyone wearing your headset, your headphones. I am so sorry, but again, you guys can't blame me. Rival is going to use the Thamus in the jungle, and yeah, so far looks like I was looking for if he was going to use the Veteran Hunter, but nah, he's still focusing on the main objectives, which is the Turtle Lord as well as the turrets.
So it is the Thamus jungle and the Paquito EXP lane. Not very common. I would prefer it the other way around, but if it does work out for them, well, what's the change? Looking at the emblems overall, I don't think anything is too out of the ordinary here. Zyme definitely going for a bit of a greed build here with that magic worship, but it could work out. Moon nearly dying from the burn, has to use the regeneration just to keep himself alive.
All right, look at that. Rival is getting chain CC'd and looks like he will. Yep, he still dies. First blood goes over to Sasa's move. Doesn't want it to end. He's focusing on to Chico, guys. He's going to get focused down. And it looks like another kill is going over to Team SMG and is going over to Zyme Senpai.
Ooh, that went downhill pretty fast for TODAK right there. Smooth doing a very good job of opening up the map, but because he's all the way over here, that's going to give a lot of farm to Formaze. Team SMG has willingly traded this over in exchange for First Blood Gold being given to Sasa. All things considered, not a bad trade.
Yeah, and right now Team SMG, same thing as game number 1. They have quite a lead when it comes to the early stages of the game, but right now Rival is going to start the turtle for himself. Smooth is going to focus onto Rival, and a beautiful Abyssal Arrow hit him, and it's going to be another kill going over to Zyme Senpai. Very beautifully coordinated by all the members of Team SMG.
Formaze now jumping in, but it will be Box that secures the turtle for Team SMG. That's gotta be rough for Rival, personally. Like, he literally could not move for a full 5 seconds. The combo, I'm now seeing it. All of these heroes are to set up for the Abyssal Arrow.
Oh, I'm gushing on that circle there. That looks so cool. But yeah, look at this chain crowd control. Moon tries to run away. Chico, guys, has to expand his ult just to save him. And yeah, I'm seeing it now too. A lot of crowd control stacking on one over each other. It is a beautiful draft now that we see it in action.
Let's see whether or not Team SMG will still be able to pull it off, though, because once we hit the mid-game, TODAK is going to be stronger in terms of team fighting. So they need to gain as much of a lead as they can in these first few minutes to ensure that TODAK doesn't pose as much of a threat when they're contesting over objectives during that phase of the game.
I mean, I don't know. I still think the late game Team SMG, like, if Hate can secure, like, what, 3 people in his circle, and then Smooth with a triple Jit Kundo, and then just pile on the damage. Rival has to run away. Box tries to engage in real-world manipulation, has been executed, but Zyme Senpai goes after Moon. Moon has to run away. Zyme Senpai treats a lot of damage there and immobilized. Chico, guys, tries to save Rival as well as Moon, and just because the SS is there, they are able to survive from that engage. Smooth is waiting on the side, and Zyme Senpai almost walks in, but Momo got found out.
A really good blessing of the Moon Goddess, and again, this is why Estes was so meta in the previous season. The ability to just keep your team alive despite all of this damage coming out of the opponent can be really annoying to deal with here. And now, Team SMG needs to prepare for that. They gotta be able to either burst people down quick enough or only go for these ganks if they can be certain of the kill when they have enough damage.
Yeah, Sasa dealing a lot of damage onto Momo, and Zyme Senpai just making sure that this lane is unplayable by this Beatrix, making it so difficult. But again, this game, with all of the crazy engages for both teams, well, mostly Team SMG, honestly, but it doesn't look like it's translating to a lot just yet. Both teams, I would say, is still pretty even-steven because, again, looking at the goal, not much difference, and looking at the turrets, nothing has really fallen just yet.
TODAK will be very comfortable playing a bit passive for these next couple of minutes until they start hitting their first and second items. Then they will be strong enough to take the fight to Team SMG. At that point, the land will kind of shift a little bit, and Team SMG are the ones that will need to play defensively. You can see TODAK willingly giving the turtle away because they know they just gotta wait for a while before they start fighting.
Yeah, Smooth goes in. He's taking quite a lot of damage, and the damage from hit is still not enough. So Moon still is in an okay spot, but looking at the lineup now, it's not going to be an easy game for Smooth. Box goes over to Momo, and forgive me, I was talking about Moon, because look at all this crowd control. They can aim Moon. It's going to be very difficult for him to really focus on his real-world manipulation.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about him picking up the Eve at that point because it is so easy to counteract that real-world manipulation. ZymSenpai now could be in danger, but the Void Crystal makes it... Oh my goodness, the snipe nearly taking out ZymSenpai in one shot.
But ZymSenpai, he pushes out the Abyssal arrows so effortlessly, and he always hits his target. It doesn't really matter how they're positioned, they're always going to get hit. Momo already finished up his Blade of Despair, so it's going to hurt just a little bit more. And in terms of hate, he has completed his Clock of Destiny, which is good and all, but Xavier is one of those heroes that needs to scale up. Once he has a Enchanted Talisman, then he can be a little bit more of a threat.
Hate is going for the slightly more greedy build by going first item Clock of Destiny here. There are a lot of people that will go Enchanted Talisman first, followed by Clock of Destiny, just to make sure that he can contribute in fighting in the early game. But Hate is aware that all he really needs to do is drop down the Mystic Field, and that's enough of his contribution to the fight. So he can wait a little bit longer and go for the maximum damage possible on this Xavier.
300 gold advantage Sasa has over Momo is not as much as I thought, especially because he has the Avarice and he has been winning the lane. So all things considered, Momo is doing quite well in his own lane. And right now, Team SMG, they have a lot of engaged tools. Team TODAK, they're grouping up together. Will this be a mistake? It looks like an engagement going on to Chiku.
Abyssal Arrow onto Chiku. Blessing on the Moon Goddess. Gonna keep him alive yet again as TODAK rotates over to the turtle. We can see Box was already working on it, but his team is not in position to support him. However, Chiku doesn't have his ultimate. TODAK have to be careful about taking a big fight here as SMG are all around them. They're gonna face each other head on. Smooth gonna miss the flicker as they catch out Formaze with the enhanced chain. Real Woman doing a lot of damage as Momo jumps in. They're gonna be out. Rival gonna get the turtle, but they do lose Momo in the backline to Sasa. Blazing Duet finding a target.
Yeah, that was actually very beautiful, dropping the real world manipulation onto 3 members of Team SMG. And then Formaze just quickly with the jab. I think that was like a double jab because the burst damage was quite a lot. And right now, TODAK, they're controlling the river, they're controlling the jungle. What is going on?
This is what I was mentioning earlier. Once we hit the mid game, TODAK actually wins team fights. And so this is where Team SMG actually needs to play a little bit more defensively and wait for Hate and Sasa to scale up. Until then, they can only look for pickoffs alongside the Abyssal Arrow. Because if they go for the big 5v5, well, what we just saw happen is going to happen again.
Yeah, right now, Team TODAK, they're pressuring the bottom side turret, and look at the damage that they are dealing. The damage from Momo as well as Chiku, guys. For those that don't know, the enhanced damage from the Astis passive actually hurts quite a bit. Formaze is going to get targeted by Box as well as Sasa, but it looks like he's able to survive no problem. Quite a lot of spell them that is being applied, and Team TODAK, they're not stopping. They want another bottom lane turret.
I'm surprised at how long they're leaving Smooth alone down here. It could give TODAK the tier 2, but they're trying to use it as bait. Here they come. They've already taken the tower. Smooth, he's gonna look for Chiku, but the Void Crystal makes it so that he can't actually get the kick back into his team, meaning TODAK actually walk away without any casualties.
Yeah, I can see that Smooth was trying to bait out the Purify from Chiku, guys, but even Chiku, guys, understood what was going on. Even if he does get kicked, he can delay slightly the Purify and still be okay just because he has the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. So good patience from Chiku as well as good patience from Smooth, but this does make it quite difficult where Smooth wants to kick someone, Chiku being a very easy target, but just because of that Purify, Smooth has to think, he has to make a lot of calculations in his head, like, is it worth it? Is it not? And then most often than not, it's like, it's not, so he won't go for the fight.
That is the style of play that we expect from Team SMG. TODAK dropping the Lord real low. Team SMG a bit too late to respawn. They've already taken it. We can see Formaze as well actually waiting in the back. TODAK want to collapse on this. They see Sasa taking the orange buff. Smooth will scout it out for the rest of the team. Knockout strike pushing him back. Flicker forced to be used for him to escape. Real world manipulation actually going to be cancelled quite early there because they know they can't catch them. But Rival does pick up the orange buff.
I'm very impressed by how fast Team SMG reacts to the real-world manipulation because almost every single time, except for the fight around Turtle, they just instantly cancels it out and they still manage to, you know, not actually trading their own life just to cancel out the real-world manipulation. So far, very impressive by them. Team TODAK with a 3,500 gold lead. Team SMG is in big trouble.
Ooh, the kick onto Rival into the tower, but he's still alive thanks to his ultimate. And the blessing on the Moon Goddess. Momo gonna find Fox. Smooth dropping real low as well. Chiku keeping the entire team topped up. This has to be annoying. Abyssal Arrow finding Chiku in the backline as well as the Dawning Light, but not enough damage scaling yet. They do finally find Formaze though, and now Smooth jumps in. They pick up Chiku. No more healing from Estes. They find Smooth, but that is 4 people down to the Blazing Duet. TODAK went too far.
That was almost a wow! Ooh, I'm pretty sure that did not caught, but the audience, everyone was like, ooh. We all know Momo survived because of the lifesteal from the Renner shot. If he did not attack the minion and the lifesteal did not come just inches after, like that would have been a kill. That was how close it was to a complete wipeout. What was that?
I can't believe how close that was. We were already sick. TODAK's playing. Our hearts are in our stomach. They are making that real right now. If we look at the items so far, we're actually only 11 minutes in. It feels like it's been a much longer game, but the cores only have about 3 items each. Momo has gone for more damage items. Sasa actually picking up a Wind of Nature as his third because he knows that he needs to stay alive to dish out damage in these fights.
Hey, call me a biased caster. I want SMG to win. I want more games. And right now, Team TODAK, they're pressuring in the orange buff area of Team SMG. And right now, Zaim Senpai, how did he manage to catch Chiku, guys? Zaim Senpai thinks Rival is still waiting in the bush. And right now, for the side of Team SMG, it looks like they're starting to scale in terms of damage, but it wasn't a situation that even they expected. So right now the damage is there, but how do they really start a team fight? They have a lot of ways to engage, but they kind of have to wait for TODAK to make a mistake themselves.
Yeah, Team SMG actually don't need to start a team fight themselves. They just have to wait for TODAK to collapse into them because they know that TODAK want to win team fights. They're not going to just boorishly take the Lord and then push down the crystal with it. They want to fight. And so Team SMG can wait for them to walk into them and hopefully catch them out with the crowd control they have.
Look at
but now the Lord is being contested.
Look at Formaze. Look at Formaze. Formaze is in the bottom lane. Team SMG, they gotta go back. Formaze they're just forcing it out. It's like, do you want to protect this or you want to protect that? And Momo, God the Lord, why is TODAK playing so... What? How did that IQ just increase so much?
TODAK is so good at split pushing. Oh, the knockouts are gonna miss on top of Fox. They're gonna pushing him back. They actually don't pick him up. The Dawning Light doing a lot of damage with the Blazing Duet. TODAK is really low. Mega kill from Sasa onto Moon. Killing spree from Momo on this move, but Rival has been taken out in the backline. Momo takes out Zaim Senpai as well. It's a 3v3 right now. And Chiku is topping up Momo and Formaze's HP, but Momo gets caught in the Mystic Field. Lucky for the healing, or he would have died again. TODAK, they do still have the Luminous Lord though.
This Estes pick is paying dividends because right now a lot of players should be punished. Formaze going to the front. He's giving a stack onto Sasa, Chiku, guys, Momo and Formaze. Do they want to finish this out now? Momo changes to his Wesker. They're focusing on the turret and looks like they're gonna get it. Team TODAK 2-0 onto Team SMG.
So you know how earlier we mentioned TODAK isn't the type of team to take the Lord and just push down the crystal with it. Turns out they are.
Could you not?
I feel like the caster curse is in full